Hello, how is everyone doing at YouTube? Are you here yet? Are you in the stream? If you are dropping by, don't forget to say hello. I'm monitoring all the chat, everything. So before anything, I also want to inform you guys because this is the holiday season starting. Actually, we'll be starting day after tomorrow, but most people will be taking the holiday, starting long holidays from tomorrow. So I'm not exactly sure that I can make it up for the next Wednesday shows, but I have to play it by the year. I have to see how it comes to be and whether I can attend or not. So, how is everyone doing in YouTube? If you are here in the channel or in OneStream Live channel, just say hi and I will get back to you almost instantly because I have specific screens dedicated for this. And back to the topic. So today we are looking at the common pitfalls and problems that arise during the live stream. So it is unpredictable, but if you teach yourself how to tackle this, you will be just fine. So it comes with experience. So what I'm trying to do is to share that experience with you so you will be prepared when it is time or when there is some technical issues coming up. So it's not necessarily with this, but yeah, you get my point. So this is just to make it ironic in a sense. Yeah. And now, yes, let's live discuss. Tallboy, thank you for joining. And yeah, I'm not going to use this. It's just for the sake of it, for the entertainment purpose. Yeah. And now, before I go down to the list, I just want to check how many of you actually faced a problem during live stream with sounds, with camera, or everything else in between, especially the internet. So, oh, wow. Okay. My Stream Elements bot is running. Wow. So, I'm sure Tallboy has gone through these quite a few more times than me. But what I have done, I have collected the knowledge that what can go wrong, and it is from my previous videos. If you go back and rewind through some of my live videos, you will find there was one or two or even three live streams that actually cocked up quite bad. Sorry for the bad language, but yeah, you get what I mean. And yes, exactly. There is nobody who uses computer or any technical devices to go live. They will face problem today or tomorrow. There is no such thing that there is no problem. There is always be problems. And okay, let me give a rough outline of what we are going to talk about. So first, we're going to talk about the issues with the internet and what you need to look for before you go live. Now, the next one is actually very common. Those who are using Windows or even using Mac or even using Linux, doesn't matter, because every computer, every OS, whenever you are running a program, it will take up processor and GPU power. So to reduce that, you can always close down the programs that are not. Yeah, I agree with that. I had problems with audio, and that was really bad that I had to go and look for a microphone behind my closet. Yeah. So from that, I have learned that we need to have a recovery system instantly. But as I was saying, the outline, the second item I will talk about is close down unnecessary programs, because there are such things, there are such programs, maybe you use it daily basis, but it is not necessary during your live stream. So that is what I'm saying. Now, the third item is always restart your streaming software. It can be browser based, like OneStream Live right now, how I'm using OneStream Live Studio, or your vMix or your OBS. restart it. Means close it down completely, remove it from the task manager, and start it again. Refresh it. Now, the other one, I also do quite a lot of time. Yes, I do have a checklist and I do check it every time. But even so, even if you have a checklist, you can still run into problems because certain things, especially technical things, are unpredictable. Now, I was talking about number 4. Number 4 is basically reset the modem and router. What it helps, because over time, every router and modem, they build up, they takes up the RAM and the CPU over time. So when you do a reboot, and what it does, it refreshes the memory and allows the flow to be agile. So do that at least 30 minutes before your stream, and then do the testing of the internet. So I will go through the details later on. I'm giving you the outline of what we are going to talk about. And check your encoding settings. So this will apply to all the software that does streaming. It applies on OBS, Streamlabs OBS or slobs, then XSplit Broadcaster. It will apply on vMix. It will apply on Ecamm Live. So all of them. Check the encoder settings. What is the last encoding setting you have set? Whether your internet connection will be able to handle that encoding. Now, the next one is lower your streaming bitrate. Go to an acceptable usage for your streaming bitrate according to your speed, internet speed. So which part of the internet speed, I will show you later. Now, check your microphone and audio settings. What you should do is to do a small recording from the studio or the software that you are using. Do a small recording and see how the microphone sounding like. Do not use Wi-Fi. I cannot emphasize this enough, but do not use Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi, the signal goes up and down, and it will disturb your streaming bitrate, that the settings you have put in, and then your quality will go up and down, which is not a nice experience to have when you are live. And then immediately after microphone, check all your sound settings. I will show you where to check on Windows, because right now I'm on a Windows PC. So I will show you that one. Check your camera settings, and I will give you the tips how to have a backup option. Means if your camera goes wrong, your HDMI cable having issues, or your mixer is having some problems. And ultimately, reduce the resolution or the quality. So resolution, usually I stream in 1080. So right now I'm at 1080p and streaming at 30 to 60 FPS within that frame range. So what you can do, if you notice, so there is a learning curve that if the place you are streaming from, if it is a remote location, it's not your home, and if you notice the speed, internet speed is not up to the par you need, then you reduce the resolution to 720p and reduce the frame rate, or reduce the encoder to a smaller preset. So for example, I'm streaming right now at 6000 kbps bitrate. If your internet speed is slower, reduce it down to something that will adapt into that specification. So, okay, I'll go into the details. Yes, it matters. Sorry, I forgot to catch your comment that yes, resetting router matters, because all routers, think of it that it is over time, it is serving many devices, your phone, your TV. Like myself, I have so many IoT devices, so smart devices. So those all take a specific amount of RAM, even if in a smaller increment. If 25 devices connected at the same time, it will clog a little bit of the router. So once you do the restart, some of them doesn't connect instantly unless it is on use. So what it does, it free up those slots, and keep your bandwidth wider. So let's do the first part. The first part will be checking your internet speed. So I'm going to show which part of the internet speed you need to check. Not everything is necessary. So let me get a clean window over here. Let's see. Here we are. Okay, and bring it over here. And I can quickly share my screen. I think it is ready to share. I'll just add it to the stream. And let's take a look at it together. So what I'm going to do is just go here, type speedtest.net. That's all I'm going to type. Let me zoom it up so you know how exactly it's coming out. So I'm going to change my server here because my server is actually time. So that's it. I'll press go. Do I remind you, I'm still live using this connection right now. So yeah, that will differ a little bit. So actually, if you are looking at the ping millisecond, I'm still not happy. The reason the millisecond is still higher a little bit because I am on live stream, means constantly there is video going through the internet, my current internet connection. So okay, download speed about 554, upload is 484. So this is why it matters. Do not look at the download Mbps. It doesn't matter at all. It matters, but very little for you because it will matter for the viewers because they will be downloading the video to look at it. So download doesn't matter for the streamer. Means as myself, I do not care what is my download speed. The only thing I care is what is my upload speed. So if you are streaming, for example, if you are streaming at 4K, you will need a minimum of 20 Mbps throw output for upload. So make sure you are on a 40 Mbps line minimum from the speed test. Then you can actually do 4K. Means always do the math, keep a buffer area and buffer area. Actually, I'm getting half of the speed because right now I'm on stream. My speed is supposed to be 1 GB up and 1 GB down. So yeah. So the upload speed is very, very important. Now, depending on this, the next thing you have to notice that are you on Wi-Fi? If you are on Wi-Fi, even the world's best Wi-Fi will not be able to cater for streaming because the latency, the up and down of signal and interference from any other devices, any other radio-based devices can impact your connection. So do not use Wi-Fi. Again, I have told this in three or four different streams. So take this one very seriously. Get into a wired connection. Pull a cable if needed. Even if it is look ugly, nobody actually cares because your viewers is not going to see that your PC is connected with a LAN cable. Nobody will see. It's only for you to know. But yes, of course, make sure that your kids are not tripping over the wire, either using a carpet or whatever it is, but get a wired connection. Now, this one covers my point number 8, but I still want to emphasize again that this is very, very important. It will improvise your streaming quality and how you deliver it to an exponential matter. Just by doing that one single thing. So once our internet connection is confirmed, I'm more than happy that yes, I can go 20,000 kbps stream, 4K stream. So I'm ready for, my internet is ready for my live stream. That's the first thing. So there are so many things can go wrong. So while we are at this, remember your internet connection can go offline. This can happen. Downtime. Every technical product in the world have downtime. Every server in the world have downtime. That's why nobody will tell you that we cover 100% SLA, service level agreement, that we are 100% uptime. Nobody. everyone will say 99.9% uptime. This is a technicality because they cannot, even over 1 year, they didn't have less than 100%. It is possible that the next year they can have a downtime because they have to update the server, they have to apply the patch and whatever not. So there will be a few minutes of downtime. Yeah, you got great speed actually. 700 upload means you can stream anything like 4K, no issues at all. And now, how do you prepare for downtime for your internet? Okay, I give you a tips. So I use ASUS routers. What I do, I plug in a 4G or 5G modem behind it. So my ASUS supports dual WAN. So it can actually take internet from the USB and also can take internet from my internet line. This is the tips that you will not find in other places that giving you tips about live streaming. This is really extreme level to protect your internet and ensure that your line is up. So using a backup connection, especially 4G or 5G, what you can do, you can immediately change your stream quality from your software and continue your stream, even if your internet goes down. So your main line went down, which you have 700 Mbps. Now you have a backup of that, which is USB-based device, which gives you 5G, maybe 200 Mbps or whatever. So the benefit is when your internet connection went down, you didn't even knew, and your stream continued because your router automatically switched between the WAN connections. So yes, this one requires a lot more deeper integration in router and understanding how router works and everything else. But it is possible. So this is something a lot of streamers covers that, okay, problem can come up and what you're going to do. But if I ask you what you're going to do if your internet goes down, so you will be in a baffled position to think that, okay, what am I going to do? Now, I give you another very important tips that actually before any other tips, even though I started with number 1 and number 2 already, but I want to inform this one because during your live stream, if anything goes wrong, the best solution is actually here. So how you think and how cool you are, it matters to your viewers. So the viewers will know that you are chill, even though your microphone not working, your camera not working, you are still okay. So you will figure it out. So you can talk together with anyone who is commenting on your stream, and then you can go about and fixing it. So now I'm going to go to the next topic. So very simple example, Microsoft OneDrive, right? This is a lot of us use this in a daily basis. Then I have pCloud. Then I have few other cloud software that is running because whenever I'm creating files, I'm creating content or physical files, then it will synchronize to the cloud. But they pick up a significant amount of my internet connection capacity. So what I do, I created a batch file, which not necessary for you. You can just right click on the taskbar icon and click exit. You can go as simple as that. But what I did, I created a batch file, which I press on Stream Deck and it runs the batch file and close all this program at one shot. Yeah. So definitely easier said than done. I agree. And then I close all my programs. So the necessary program is Wave Live. So basically, this is the sound processing program that I use. You will see in my screen pretty soon that how I manage the sounds, and there are multiple layers into it. So I need that software to be running. Then any other required software that I have, like the password manager, and that's about it. The rest of the things I will close down. So later on, once my live stream is finished, I will do the one shot, I will restart my computer once to freshen things up. So this is also another matter. Before your live stream, do a full restart of your computer. If you are on Windows, remember Windows, the way it sleeps and how MacBook or Mac OS sleeps is completely different. So the way MacBook wakes up from sleep is nearly like restart, is fresh. But when Windows wakes up, some of the drivers, they are not refreshed, especially NVIDIA, especially sound drivers. So you will hit problems if you just wake up your PC from sleep and go into live stream. You will notice that the sound driver is not up. Then you cannot disconnect from the stream because you are live. So what do you do? 30 minutes, when you do the restart of the router, you restart your PC. This is mainly applicable for Windows. You restart your PC and then everything freshen up, close up all the programs you don't need. So your system is ready to rock and roll. Now, having said that, this is also part of closing the unnecessary program. Do a fresh restart. It always helps. And I have noticed, I have gone through the problem of having drivers unstable because I wake up the system from sleep mode rather than fresh restart. So yeah, I have gone through that. Now I will give you some tips about these microphone issues and camera issues. So even though I didn't list them, I did list them later in the stage, but I will cover those things. So let's talk about the number 3. So restart your streaming software. So if you do a system restart, you have already done that. So you do not need to restart your streaming software because you have restarted your OS, means Windows. You have restarted Windows, so it will be fine. So now we can go to the next one, which I have already covered, that restart your router at least once. So your internet downtime will be roughly around 4 to 5 minutes to your internet to come back completely refreshed. But that's the whole point. That is why you do it 30 minutes back. Now go into start your streaming software, whichever OBS, it can be vMix and whatever it is. Check your bitrate settings and encoder settings inside your software. So a lot of times what happens, you are showing something on screen or you're testing how it works without the GPU, how it works with the CPU, etc. So your settings get mixed up. So you forget to reset it back to the settings that actually works. So what do? You go and do the final check on your encoding settings. Now, if you notice, my screen is still on. If you notice that your upload speed is about 10 to 12 Mbps from the location you are streaming, definitely you need to change your bitrate for your streaming bitrate. So you need to lower it down. Either change the resolution to 720p and lower the bitrate to 3000 Mbps or 2500 Mbps. It's fine. It will still work. So yes, to handle the panic, that is the cool part, and then you can manage everything basically. Now, in between my other topics like wired connection and Wi-Fi, which I already covered earlier, I am going to talk about the recovery system if your devices started to make problem. So I had problem with this mic, and what it happened, I wake up my computer from sleep before going to live, and the driver for this microphone crashed for whatever reason. So what happened that there was no sound, and it was impossible for me to reset the stream because I am on live. So if I mix the stream, I won't be able to reconnect to the same stream. So what I did, because I moved my house, so my things were kind of out of my reach. So I had to get into the closet and find it. But now I have it right beside me. It is my plug-in microphone, an additional microphone. The microphone price is about $6. Yeah, about that. So I plugged that microphone in and I got back to the stream. Now this can happen. The same thing can happen with your camera. So I would say within your hand's reach, keep a webcam. A webcam is cheap, $30 to $50, especially the Logitech ones. Keep one for yourself, test it once, plug it in, make sure the driver is installed, then plug it out. Keep it nearby you. So if your camera, your HDMI, your mixer gave up for some whatever reason, from some technical reason, just plug it in. Be chill, look at the comments people are making, then plug that thing in and make a joke about it. So it will also help your audience to calm down. So when you are panicking, your audience also starts to panic with you. So do not bring the hammer. The hammer is entirely for joke. And to make it ironic, I use the hammer in the thumbnail. But seriously, do not bring a hammer. Now, these are two tips that you can instantly recover your stream if sound and your camera goes out or it doesn't function for some reason. So you have an immediate backup, cheap but effective backup to get back on the stream. So on Windows, all streaming software will allow you to switch the camera while you're live. They will allow you because camera is a source. So let's say you have Blackmagic design, then you can change it to Fineshare Fine Cam, or you can change it to something else. So you can do it while you're live. Just be cool about it and make a joke that, these kind of things happen. Now, talking about the wired connection, I'm very serious. Actually, if you are able to look at my setup right now, I actually keep a long cable because my actual router is pretty far, about 10 meters away. So I pulled a Cat7 cable and put it to my computer. It's ugly as hell because my corridor, you can see the cable is not on the wall. But the funny thing is, I don't always use that connection. 30 minutes before I start the stream, I connect that cable to make my connection stable. Then only I test my internet speed and etc. 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 So all these actually part of it. Now let me have a bit of water. Talking this much, always. Yeah, you just see that my camera just flicked. I'm not even sure my camera is on or not. Okay. Seems to be fine. Okay. Seems to be fine. Now, see, I almost panicked because in my screen right now, the camera is not showing. So I kept a tiny little window, a tab. I opened it up in a different window, make it really small. And there, my live stream is actually running there. So I'm looking at it. And then I realized that, okay, my video is still on, even though in the back end, I cannot see my video. So just don't panic about it. Take a few moments and that's it. Now, I wanted to show the sound settings. So I wanted to show the camera settings. So in Windows 11, actually I have a switch. So it is connecting to my switch and the switch connecting to 3 different items on this PC. I mean the PC and 2 other components. Yes, I already have it in place. But I pulled the cable from the main router to the another big switch, actually. Yeah. So that is how I'm managing it. For the conversation's sake, I said it's directly connecting to the PC. And yeah, Okay, I was at the camera settings. So what you do before you go live, like 30 minutes back, you have already restarted your system. Now, what you do, you power cycle your mixer if you have one. So think about Atom Mini or similar programs, similar components. So I think Tallboy uses the one is called, I can't remember the name at this point, but same thing, just take out the power, put it back in, it will be refreshed. So all your camera, HDMI connection, and everything else will come back. So if you had any issues that the camera you turn on, you can see the camera, but the camera feed is not going to the system. Just do a refresh before you start your streaming software. This is the easiest one, but I also told you the tips that keep a webcam nearby, at least within one hand reach, that you can plug it in a USB hub that is right in front of you and put the camera on the monitor and get it running. Just in case your camera fails to capture the or the mixer fails to send the video signal. Yep. But in the back end, I'm not there. So that is about the camera. Now the sound settings or your microphone. So this one, before you go stream or do stream or anything, what you need to do is go to, let me share my screen, then I will share the objects. Okay. Let's put it this way. Yes, J5 create JVA06. That's correct. So just power cycle that item once, because these are critical items for your live stream, and it is important that they are refreshed. They had the breathing space, because sometimes these kind of equipments, they have been connected for ages. We never turn it off. So make sure you turn it off and on at least once. This will tremendously help you to reduce the problem you are having during the stream. Now we are going to look at the sound settings. So in Windows 11, I'm running. You can just go here and type sound, and that will give you sound settings. So this is the sound settings screen. Choose where to play sound. As you can see, I have multiple sources, but my default source is Wavelink system. Then the volume is 100%. Input, you can see my input default is microphone FX, Wavelink microphone FX. I also have XSplit audio and my gaming headset and my microphone from Blackmagic Design, which is Atom Mini. Now, here you should also check at least once that what is the devices sending the sounds to. So if you are a gamer or you're doing a game stream, make sure your game stream is going through a different channel. What happens that if you are using the same channel, when you are talking and game volume is so high that the audience cannot hear you. This is a very common issue. So what I do, if I'm running a game, the game volume will be at 50% and output to a different channel, and I will mix it up in Wavelink. That is why Wavelink is so much easier to manage. If I show my screen, you will know that how easily I manage this. So for my game, I can just pull it down that I only send this much of signal to my live stream. And this is my input and this is my output. And you should also be able to notice this is my output. I have tremendously reduced the noise reduction. If you look at my source, and now I'm silent. So my source, even at the back, you can see the light. There are some humming noise, which my microphone is not picking up. So it is possible to do all these channel mixing using Wavelink. Is pretty straightforward. It's a USB mic, and I think it is a condenser mic, not a dynamic microphone, but it does the job pretty good. So far, I have seen. There is, of course, better microphone like XLR microphone, but then you bring in so many variables into it as well. But of course, you spend the money for Rodecaster and Rode microphone and Rode podcast microphone. Those will sustain for a very, very long time. But do you need that at the very beginning? I don't think so. Yes, the capture card. Keep on forgetting these terms. So yeah, you can also change where it will output if you have Spotify running. So you do not want the Spotify to stream into your stream. You can also control this from this panel, from the volume mixer in Windows 11. Now there is a little bit advanced to these things. So if you scroll down, you will find this area is called More Sound Settings. I hope you can see this. Let me make this full screen so you can see More Sound Settings. So this will open up the typical. Last time Windows 10 and before that they had this screen. Here, what you should do, definitely do one-time check. Go to Recording tab. Now look at your microphone effects. So this is my microphone effects. This is the one that capturing this microphone. Go to Properties. Now on the enhancement, make sure nothing is selected. Do not do any enhancement on the microphone. It will make serious problems for you that you will not be able to figure out what is going wrong. So turn off all of this, not necessary at all. On the then there was another settings. Where is this? Now, once you have done that, go to Communications. Make sure Do Nothing is selected. So Windows have a built-in system for communication devices that if you start talking, it will reduce the sound of all other components that is playing sound. So it can be browser, it can be game, and whatever not. So in video editing terms, it's called ducking. D-U-C-K-I-N-G, ducking, audio ducking. So you do not want Windows to interfere with this. You want clean audio, you want unprocessed audio to capture from your microphone. So always select Do Nothing, this one. So once all these checkups has been done, then you can close it off and continue to your streaming software. Now, depending on your speed test, it will matter that which type of resolution you will be able to stream. So the first thing you need to notice, if your upload speed is not even 10 Mbps, let's say it's fluctuating between 9 and 10, you should not go for 1080p streaming. You should only go for 720p streaming. This is as simple as that. So I have shared this information in slides in my previous stream. Don't forget to check them out. I will link them in the description, so you will be able to find them pretty easily. So go and check those videos and find out what is the number you need to follow. So I give you a number right out of my head. So if you want to do 4K 30 FPS streaming, you should at least have 20 Mbps bitrate. Means you should at least have 40 Mbps upload speed or 50 Mbps upload speed, just for safety, because there will be some devices, your personal phone or your tablet still might be connected to the Wi-Fi. So do this. And there is something I also want to cover. This, I think a lot of people talk about it, but they don't actually go and do the modification. So whenever I hope you can see my screen here. So this is my system. So you go to Windows Update. Whenever you are streaming, go ahead and click this and click pause for 1 week. Just do this. I'm not saying stop your updates. The updates are important. It helps you to keep your Windows secure, but they can interfere with your streaming. So do not forget this. It may look such a small matter, but it can make a big impact while you are streaming. The impact can come in two different ways. One, it might ask you to restart your computer while you are streaming, or if you set up your options that it will automatically restart your computer, then you are dead in the water, man, because it will just restart in 60 seconds and you probably haven't even looked at your screen when the notification popped up. Yeah, I'm going to address your comment, Tallboy. Thank you. Yes, you can do 4K streaming, but it will put a tremendous amount of pressure on your GPU unless you have RTX 4090 or 4080 with at least 32 MB high performance gaming DDR-RAM. Then it will put a significant dent on your CPU. So what will happen that because of your CPU is taking up so much processing power, even your GPU is working, it might slow down other programs, or you will notice lags when you're moving the program or moving a tab. So this can happen. I have tested this, but in your speed, definitely you can go for 4K. Yes. But do remember, computer specification does matter. Yeah, the specification does matter. Make sure that you have gaming RAMs like low latency, high performance RAMs, and you are on NVMe SSD, at least your operating system. And what I do, my OBS Streamlabs and all other tools, I actually set into a different NVMe SSD. So I have 3 NVMe SSD and 4 different storage simple SSD. So the fastest NVMe SSD is my Windows running from. The second same performance NVMe SSD my streaming softwares are running from. And there is also another NVMe SSD that is only used for caching. Means my system cache, my video cache, and all those things I cache into one SSD. It doesn't touch my system drive. It doesn't touch my streaming software drive. Yes, definitely. So that is what I meant, that it doesn't hurt you at all. All you have to do, go to Windows Update. Then on the pause updates, click here, pause for 1 week, and you are done. If you really need it, after your stream, you can go and resume it as easily. So I know each one of you have your own kind of checklist, but maybe I helped a little bit to fine-tune your checklist. 2060 should be okay. What I would recommend, put it into OBS, because that will be the strength test, benchmark test, and put it to 20,000 Mbps bitrate with 30 FPS, and then open the stats dialog. The stats dialog is like this. So let me close the screen and open up OBS. And we can have a look on that one. So if you can notice this at the bottom part of my screen, my CPU usage, disk space, FPS, and the average time to render frame. So I would recommend to look at these frames missed due to rendering lag and skipped frames due to encoding lag. So these are the two things you need to notice when using OBS. This will help you to identify that whether you can go full 4K with 2060 NVIDIA RTX. Yes, but I would honestly say that if it is 4080 or 4090, you wouldn't have any issues at all. That one I can say. So you get the idea. So this is the stats. You can find it in docs, and then you click on stats. It will give you this stats screen. So yeah, that's about it. In that way, you can do a self-assessment that whether your 2060 will be capable of running the stream at 4K. And also one more thing, while you are doing this, you will open up, right click on your taskbar, open up the task manager, and go to your performance. Is it performance? Let me check. Yes, performance tab. Now you should do this. Let's take a look. So you can see the CPU usage and utilization and memory utilization and such things. So if you notice that your CPU is overused all the time, so maybe that is not a good idea because it will slow down your system ridiculously, and that is why I wouldn't recommend it. So these spikes are fine, but if it is completely on top like this, on the top line, it will create a problem for your system. So you will have lags and certain things. So always look at CPU and memory usage. This will give you a clear-cut idea that whether you are able to do the 4K stream with NVIDIA 2060 RTX. So I think we are almost at the end of the stream. I wanted to do it at 45-minute mark. Now, what I wanted to say that I am exactly not sure that whether during this holiday season, because it is end of the fasting month, so we have completed almost all of it, and now we are going for holiday, and I hope wherever you are and have a good weekend and everything while we are on holiday. So I cannot promise right at this moment that next Wednesday I will be available, but I will try my best that I can appear on the stream. So let me know whether this stream today actually helped you or not, whether you find out something new that you didn't knew about it, and it does impact on your connection speed, it does impact on how you do your stream. Is there any other situations that you have got into that made such a problem for you that you didn't know what to do? Feel free to comment. I am eager to know how you handle those situations, and put it in the comment below. So that's it for now. What I will do, I will see you next time. Hopefully, I will be able to be there on next Wednesday because I'm traveling in between. And in fact, I'm traveling right after this show. So yeah, I have to go. My family is prepared. They're ready to go out and all those things. So yep, let me know. But I will try my best to join next Wednesday. Stay tuned for that. If you like the stream, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you didn't like, put a thumbs down. That is also fine. And as always, thank you for joining. I really appreciate that you do. You can help. It's not always about money, but what you can do, you can subscribe, and then that will help small people like us to help you from what we learn from our experience. So that's all I would say. And thank you for being awesome and join the stream. I will say ciao for now till we meet next time. Bye bye.